Hello everyone, it's me Jenny, and welcome to people who don't know what this is. This is a comment commentary, where basically I physically responded to all your comments, as many as I possibly can, on all my videos from this past week. That's the Monday to the Sunday from last week, and then I chat about the comments that you put in, and it's partially to highlight the wonderful people who comment on my videos, and it's partially to kind of enhance the conversation, and it's also in case there's something that I want to chat about in a very long-winded way that would have taken a long time to write down in comments. So yeah, that is what I am doing right now. So basically I just go through the week and chat. And the reason why I film on this wonderfully low definition web camera is because I tend to ramble and these videos can get quite long. So there we go. Welcome to the new people who are watching who haven't experienced what this is. So yeah, welcome. And let's get started by starting with my Monday video from last week, which was my Don't Starve Shipwrecked second stream. The only person to comment on that video was Red Sky Blackbird, one of my regulars, who says, "Why do I always miss your streams, sad face?" And also, don't forget the rule of survival, don't die. Yes, that's pretty much the rule of the game. And funnily, while rewatching that video and editing it, I realised that the only reason why I died, despite being poisoned and a lot of other things, like 5 of the reasons why I died in that game was because I forgot to have a source of light. So basic. I'm such a numpty, so I didn't really avoid that particular rule. I can't remember which song there is, but there's a song which is like, "It's a time-honored tradition, you get enough nutrition, stay alive until you die, or that is the end of you." And that is kind of what was in my head when I saw your comment, and I apologise for the singing. That's something that I do, and I really shouldn't. I need to get out that habit. Yeah, when I stream every Sunday, if at all possible, 11 till 12 GMT. I more often than not overrun. It can go up to an hour or so of stream time. An hour is the standard, but it usually goes up to 2 or 3 hours depending on how late I need to stay up and what shift I'm on the next day. That's GMT. I don't have the convergence up in front of me, so I can't tell you what all of the other time slots are for different countries, but I just go with GMT because that's the country I live in. But there we go. I do tweet out. I usually, if I've got something going on the Sunday evening, like we have house guests or there's a delay, I will tweet about it and put that out on my channel. Sometimes there's technical difficulty because I'm technologically illiterate. I always nearly say technically illiterate, which I'm not. I can understand written communication, but yes, I'm technologically illiterate, so quite a lot of the time there's technical difficulties, or I've got house guests, or I've forgotten, or there's some sort of level of delay. If I do have a delay or I'm cancelling it, it will be on my Twitter. My Twitter is Took It Home to Jen, like this channel, except the shorter version because I couldn't fit it as a full username. So if anyone wants to catch my streams on Twitch and is wondering where they are or is confused about the times, I will tweet about it. I usually tweet about half an hour to an hour before I start, and then I usually tweet final just setting up, and once I'm online I do a online tweet. So if in doubt, follow me on Twitter if you want to really catch those streams. I really like the ones that I have the most fun in, when I have the most people chatting away in the comments and actually talking about what I'm doing, but there we go. At the moment the schedule, as I keep mentioning on off, is 2 weeks of a new game, 1 week of Skyrim, 2 weeks of a new game, 1 week of Skyrim. That's just because simply I really love Skyrim. It's my go-to, it's my oldie and my bestie. And I feel like it's the one that I can talk to you guys the most with. With new games or games I haven't played in a while, it means that I need to focus on the game a little bit more, and I can't really focus on the conversation. While with Skyrim I can be a little bit more chatty, especially as I spend a great deal of my time encumbered, so I'm just wandering around the environment trying to survive while going at about half a mile an hour. Okay, this is why I film my web camera, because this is 1 of 7 and I've been talking for way too long. Moving on to last week's comment commentary video. I like all of you bacon people. You know who you are. Moving on, let's have a look. Mark Armano said he never heard the term spray cream. I don't know what the other term for spray cream is, where you have cream in a can that you shake up and then you spray it on things, and it's delicious and vanilla-y. And I only usually have spray cream about once a year, if that. It's a very like special specific, like I'm making a banoffee pie and I can't bother to whip the cream, or I'm, I have a specialist hot chocolate that I want to have spray cream with. It's very, very rare that I buy it, and it just makes me so happy. There's something really funny to me about an edible thing that can come out of a can that you go and it like, that makes me happy, which is why in my hot chocolate video from the week before, there's a little clip at the end of me just going because that's what my response was. He'd like to see me get my bacon and make a cake or something. Yeah, I mean, last year, because I had a more structured end of week schedule, I had set videos for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One of the things that I did was my crafting Sundays. I don't really have that as a set specific thing this year. I've got those Friday, Saturday, Sundays kind of just open house. I can do whatever I want. But yeah, I did last year. I did making an omelette as one of those days, which sounds really dull, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And I also did a crafting Sunday where I made some chocolate chip muffins with my twin sister. So if you want to check out, I don't know whether or not those would both be on the best of last year playlist, or whether or not you'd have to go through the whole of Project 15 in order to find that on the playlist, or you could just search. But yeah, those ones from last year. I might do another video from this year of baking of some kind. I'm not that good a cook. I like eating. I'm not so good at the making. But it's a good suggestion, and I will keep it in mind. Nathan Lyle said, Rambly Jenny's the best. Well, so far I must be winning the gold on this video. This is a whole new level of rambling. Theoretically, I could be if I had hands. That's a direct quote from last week's video. Well, he had legs and could swim up a waterfall, but it's never going to happen. The thing with playing an instrument or like learning a second language is, one of the things that I'm always inspired by is there's a lady in my village who is well into her 80s now, and she has done so much with her life, and she's still learning and she's still doing things, and that's inspirational to me. In that, like, it's kind of inspirational and it's disheartening at the same time, because I'm at the point where, like, there is always the potential to learn new things. Always. There is always the potential to do great things for your life, no matter what stage of life you're at. And that's amazing and a huge, like, it's an enormous world out there, and you can learn anything if you really, really put the effort in to learn. You can learn an instrument. Like, I could learn the piano, I could learn a second language. I'd never be as fluent as if I'd learned when I was a very young child, because brain development, that's what happens. But there is always potential to learn and do new things if you just put in the effort. And the reason why that is weirdly disheartening is, like, I should be doing a lot more with my 23 years. I should be doing the things that I would want to do when I'm later and when I'm older, and I'm so bad at time management, doing new and creative things, which is the reason why I'm trying to do daily vlogging and failing horribly. But it's, little challenges as I go, but I feel like I should learn some big life skill at some point this year, which hopefully will be driving, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, and another bacon person, thank you. Solace 74 is another bacon person and says it is a delicious fruit. I wouldn't technically describe it as fruit, but I understand what you're saying. And KSJ said, woohoo, first comment, woo, first comment. I don't normally encourage first commenters, but sure, go to town. Has woken up on different days. I think I talked about in last week's comment commentary. I woke up at the wrong side of the 12 hours and was convinced I was late for work. It turned out that I just had a nap, and I was very confused about what time it actually was. But also is a bacon person. Thank you. And if you don't know what that means, you'll have to watch the end of last week's video, or to the end of this week's video, so you can work out what it means. On my Naked Truth video for last week, on an adventure, Backsword said he's not a big solo traveller. VidCon was a big deal, but it's always it's good when you have friends that you're going to go see. Window shopping by yourself, it feels slightly depressing. At any rate, you would like to travel to places where there are people you know. Just not big of a solo wanderer. Like, the thing that I really like is I'm I'm not very extroverted. I can come off very extroverted when I'm talking to a camera or by myself. And you know, I have the confidence to be confident when I need to be. But I'm not particularly outgoing. And when it comes, like, I'm not very, I'm very comfortable with myself, and I'm very comfortable with my own presence. So, like, I can do the holidays on my own type thing. I can do that. And there are certain experiences that, when they're kind of like personal or psychological experiences, like you get to the top of that mountain and you see that view, and that view is going to be as beautiful and as extraordinary, depending, like, regardless of whether or not you're doing it with people or not. That view will always be as gorgeous once you reach the top of that mountain. That lake will always be as wonderful to swim in, regardless of whether or not you're with people. That museum is always going to be as culturally fantastic, and that walk will always be as physically draining, regardless of whether or not you're with people. But, like, some of those experiences are equal if you're with someone or if you're on your own, but most of them are enhanced by having someone with you. So I can do holidays on my own, and you know, I'm content to do holidays on my own, but if I could find people to go with me, then that was better. Later on this year, me and my sister are going to go traveling. Well, not traveling, we're just going to go on a walking holiday. So probably I've got some backup videos that will be going up online during those couple of days, just to hold me over while I am away from computer. And then we'll have some wonderful edited, me and my sister having fun, happy times in wet hills type videos, but we'll see how that comes along as we go. But yes, I'm very happy to do single person adventures, but as I said, you can only really equalize on some experiences. Pretty much all other experiences are enhanced by having someone with you, or someone that you're going to. Even no matter how confident or how happy you are in your own company, having other company is the best. Sorry, wow, rambling. This video is going to be so long. So sorry. Moving on, Trisha said she completely understands how difficult it is to get out of town for the weekend. Great adventures await. Yes. The thing is, like, when I say I live in a small village, I live in a pretty small village. Like, the biggest thing we've got a primary school, we've got a sports and social club, we've got a post office / village shop, which is all one thing. We have a pub, and we have a church. It takes me approximately, to bike from one side of the village to the other, approximately 2 minutes. If I'm walking through the middle of it takes me approximately 2 minutes. Like, if I go biking around the outside or walking through the middle, it takes me approximately 2 minutes to pass through the entire village. It's a very, very small village. And when it comes to town, if I were to walk from right over one side of town to right over the other side of town, it'd probably take me half an hour on foot. It takes me about 20 minutes to bike from the far side of town all the way back home. And that's, you know, with road movement and small main road between here and there. It's not like there is a gap between my village and the town. So it's like, I live in a very small area. It's kind of easy to get claustrophobic, and as I said last video, like, I'm very happy with my village. I'm very, very settled. But there is a certain point where you know, it's good to get away. Big Virgo Tube forgot that Trisha was already married! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Go to her channel and check out her wedding video, because it's beautiful. She is such a beautiful bride, my golly gosh. And adventurers out there. Woo! Great adventure awaits, adventurers out there. Nathan Lyle says, leaving your village doesn't seem like such a small goal. He hasn't left his city since 2010. Wow. And as I said, my village is very, very small. I think if you're living in a big kind of metropolitan city, that's an entirely different experience, because you can get that different typography. You can get, like, you know, a large, like, imagine if, like, I suppose New York or London, you can get those very, very different architectural types and different landscapes all within one city. You don't necessarily have to leave in order to see different environments. Here, like, there is you can wander out into the country pretty easily, or you can wander through the village pretty easily, but considering I don't drive as well, it's a very small space. Moving on, adventure implies, according to KSJ Hawker, wow, my brain stopped working for a minute there, adventure implies there's some sort of risk or hazard. Wow, my brain has stopped working. KSJ Hawker 94 says, adventure implies that there is some sort of risk or hazard. As far as trip goes, Paris isn't high on his list, but the other three are near the top. By the way, I ate all the pies, so keep calm. So yeah, like I can see adventure being implied as a risk or habit. It's kind of like a hero's journey is the classic adventure. So it's taking a risk, doing something that's very much dangerous, and then coming back as a new person. I definitely feel like for me, being out of your comfort zone like is a risk. Like you can have risks and hazards which aren't physical risks or hazards. You can have like emotional risks and new experiences. Anything that's out of your comfort zone, I think, can be counted as a risk or hazard. So I think I get what you're saying, but I think risk or hazard implies something very much more dramatic. While being out of your comfort zone and actually pushing yourself to do something new, I think feels like an adventure, no matter how small that is. Like going to the cinema is an adventure, learning to drive is an adventure, even if it's not directly risky. And by the way, I ate all the pies, so keep calm. That's a reference to my Keep Calm poster, which I bought sometime around uni. It's a really good poster, and it works with the colour system in my room. It's really nice, but I can't really get it in frame during the Naked Truth, so I'm sorry that it's kind of, you only ever see the bottom of that poster. It's a really good poster, but I can't lower it down anymore, or else it gets in the way of my pillows when I'm sleeping. But it's a really good poster. I should show it off at some point. It used to be against this wall, which was where my desk was, so when I was filming, it was behind the camera, and now it's in front of the camera, but kind of out of frame, so I'll have to do, just dropped my mouse. Sorry about that. I'll have to do some sort of video where I can highlight that poster, because it's a really good poster. It's very witty. Every time I look at it, I find something. I don't necessarily find something new, but it still entertains me. Like it's just a selection of different Keep Calm variants. So play now and work later. Keep calm and Carrie Fisher. Keep ham and Carrie mustard. Drink tea and eat cake. Like that sort of thing. It's a good long selection. Find vampire, get bitten. It's a really good poster, but it can never really stay in the frame like I want it to. But I will probably highlight it at some point. Well, I am so rambly. I apologise. Gerard Graham says, so where are you from, and you should make a video about your town. I'm from a small village in Oxfordshire. I might make a video about my town. The trouble is, as I said, it's such a small village that probably if I show off the landmarks too much, I could probably reveal too much about my village to feel comfortable. But I feel like if I can do an activity in the village, like some sort of doing something village, like I did my finding cat video last year, that sort of thing I might try and do this year, like trying to, I don't know, I'll think of something entertaining that I can do in my village to show off more. I did my commute video last year, I did my cat video. If you go to it's one of the videos I did, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, when I was walking home from doing my Robin Hood Men Tights video. That's some grounds out the back of one of the grassy verges. So yeah, there's a lot on my channel that I've already done, but I will endeavour to do something new with that. Moving on. Oh, so rambly. Imagination is intoxicating, the power of stories ramble. Blah 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 blah. Both KSJ and Mark Armano asked me to talk about Critical Role, actually explain what it is. Critical Role is a D&D live show starring a load of nerdy voice actors. When you look up their credentials, you're like, oh my god, they've been in everything. That's amazing. Like pretty much, like whenever a new video game comes out, at least one of that cast has been a voice actor in it. It's it blows my brain every time. Like I hear about a new game coming out, and I'm like, 3 of the cast of Critical Role are in this new game. And I've kind of become slightly hooked on it. It's very, very addicting. It's what inspired me to start actually going to D&D, which is something that, like, I've always liked RPGs. I've always liked computer RPGs. And I tried going to my RPG gaming club at uni and was terrified. 100% terrified. I just turned up and I was just a fish out of water. It was awkward. There wasn't really, there was like either full-blown Warhammer or LARPing or board games, and there wasn't really like, it was perfectly good, but there wasn't really a kind of ease you in type thing. I don't know whether or not I missed the first week or something, but I was just terrified. I'm not very good at absorbing knowledge very quickly a lot of the time, and so if I felt like a enormous fish out of water. So I tried going a couple of weeks, and then I just couldn't get into that frame of reference, so I stopped going. But yeah, then my sister's boyfriend like worked me into one of his RPGs as a one shot, and that was amazing. And like one of like actually experiencing a tabletop RPG for the first time was extraordinary. And then I really, really want to do more of it, and I don't have any nerdy friends who do RPGs. And so the only time I get to do it would be at conventions, which would be one shots. You don't really get the long form like campaign type thing. So I kind of like, I fell out of habit, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this again. I don't have any friends who are interested. It's just not a thing that's going to happen. And so, you know, I watched tabletop and all those like Geek Sundry things. And then they came out with Critical Role, which it took me a while to get into. I remember not pegging for the first couple of episodes exactly what it was about, especially as the group of people who play that game have been playing for years on the same campaign. So it took me a little while to understand what was going on. And then I don't know exactly which point the nut kind of cracked, and I was like, oh, this is what this is about. And then suddenly I was hooked. And by that point, like, they stagger the from the Geek and Sundry website to the YouTube channel. They stagger the releases. So by the time I was seeing it on YouTube, they'd already done something like 7 or 8 episodes on the website. So then I like caught up, and it's a long commitment. These episodes, they're the same length as your average like D&D night. So they're 3 to 5 hours per episode. And I think, let me have a quick look. I don't have an internet connection, so I can't look. I'm in the corner of a bedroom without internet signal. I think they're on something like 40 episodes, and this is 40 episodes that are all about 4 hours long. So it's a very, very long time commitment to start from the beginning, which again, the campaign had been going for like 3 years, before they started streaming this. So I became completely hooked. I watched all the episodes. I kind of almost rewatched a lot of the episodes. And then I was like, I'm going to try and find a D&D group, and I started doing D&D, which so far has been really just such a good time with some amazing people. Yeah, I took out a walking stone. I can't remember what its name was. It was like a stalagmite thing with like tentacles, and at the end of the last session, it basically chewed my legs off. And yeah, my character is stable, but I'm gonna have to seriously roll some hit dice in order to get her back up to good again. And as I'm the cleric, like, I can't heal anyone if I'm unconscious. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment with that. But yeah, Critical Role is a fantastic show. It is a very long time commitment. They've just this last 2 episodes started a new campaign. As I said, I don't have an internet connection, so I can't tell you the specific episodes, but I think it'd be worth, if you're coming in to it fresh, I think it'd be worth, they've just brought out a like previously on to sum up the campaign that they did for the last 2-3 years. So watch the previously on, kind of see whether or not you're interested in the characters, and then start from, I think it's around episode 38, 39, just when they get back finish up in Whitestone, and they come back to Emon, because that gives you a kind of like, it's like a, maybe even start with the Winter's Crest episode, because that's kind of like a fun getting to know the characters, nothing really going on, they've just finished an arc. And if you start with maybe the Winter's Crest Festival, watch the previously on, get an idea of how it's working, and then they've just completely changed the universe over. So it's a good place to start. But as I said, it's an enormous time commitment. It's incredibly fun, but it's very difficult to kind of start on it. And there we go. That was kind of a review. So that answers KSJ's question, and Mark Mano, I hope that helps. As I said in my comment back to you, it does the live shows on Thursday. They release it on the website on Monday, and as I said, for the YouTube channel, it's about 10 episodes behind. It should be released to your subscriptions, but it might be worth going to the Geek and Sundry YouTube channel and just double checking. But I think the new arc hasn't been released to the channel yet, so I'd recommend going to the website, finding the previously on video, seeing how you feel, and then starting from the Winter's Crest episode if you are interested. And Razan, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but says, "It's nice hearing from you." It's nice to hear from you too, but all caps is a little bit alarming. Keep the volume down. This is my quiet zone. Moving on. Oh my gosh, I wonder how long this video is. 26 minutes, bloody freaking hell. Still working on thoughts on YouTube targets video. Infinity Plus One. Wow. Says try Lisa Mitchell's music. I think that would be good for you. I've listened to a couple of her songs and they're really, really nice. I really like them. Again, I don't know how I'd work them into a video very well, but I do like it, and thank you for introducing me to her work. Nathan Lyle says, "I think you sitting in front of Gunnar is very visually pleasing." That's very nice of you to say, although I don't think it's very visually, I don't know, entertaining. I don't know. But thank you for that compliment nonetheless. KSJ said, "Selecting music wouldn't be my forte, and he can't imagine me liking Frankenstein or the Immigrant Song being a fan of my life." I did look up those. Yeah, not quite for me. I can appreciate them, but not quite for me, especially not as a representation of my YouTube channel. That might deviate expectations slightly. Moving on to Mark Amano. He recommends Cyberlink Power Director. I will look into that. I haven't had time to really look into it yet, but I will look into that particular software and see prices and how it works. If I do start using it, it will be a few weeks down the line because, as I said right at the beginning of this video, I am technologically illiterate, so it takes me a long time to adjust to new software. But we'll see how it goes. And Mono Grateful says, Dance and Crafting! Dance and Crafting are the videos that are most generally requested because they're not to the set schedule, so they're new and exciting. As I said, new things will be coming out as they come out. I keep on having a lot of really good ideas and then not putting them to paper and then forgetting. So I will be doing that as we go. Moving on, modding for Trisha is the best. The last video of the week for last week, where Trisha names some characters after the people in her chat, including me, and my Twitch username, if you didn't know, is Class Librarian, which is based on the name that SourceFed gave me when we were part of Movie Club. And yes, she named a character after me who is kind of like a cleric, which is my favourite class, and the class I'm playing in D&D. And that cleric also had a book, which made me so happy. So yeah, that was really fun, but really random. So yes, that video was a fun thing that I just started filming because modding is so fun for Trisha. She's got such a good audience. You never need to do any work. You can just participate in the chat, in the conversation. I've got to say she's one of the best YouTubers for doing really good content while really carrying a conversation with her audience, and it's just really, it's refreshing and lovely, and she's a refreshing and lovely little human being. Baxorn said it's fun when streamers name their characters. Matt Eats Moshi does it as well, which I didn't know because I tend to, like, Matt and CJ are guys that I'm subscribed to or follow, I can't remember which one, and I just, their streaming schedules just don't really sync up with me if I want to have a sleep schedule. But they're good guys. They're very good guys. Girl of the Books says she loved how excited I was. She was also one of the names. And again, my character played a book, and that was amazing. Carried a book. And that is the end of the videos for next week. Obviously, the videos for the beginning of this week, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, will be in next week's Comment Commentary. And yeah, welcome if this is your first comment commentary. As I said, it's a rambly mess, and I overtalk and I talk way too much. But there we go. And for those of you who didn't understand the whole bacon thing earlier, when these videos get very long, which they do, I tend to put in like a secret word or phrase at the end of this video, so that when you do your comments down below, which is the whole point, I can see who watched the end of the video and who's willing to commit 30 minutes of their time to my inconsistent, absolutely nonsensical rambling. And just so I know, it's something that I learned from Christopher Ware, who is part of the Project Chronicle group, and it's just a nifty little thing that I do. So yeah, today's secret word of the day is I like challenging you guys to like try and work it into a sentence. Like bacon was pretty easy because it's a meme in its own right. Challenging. Pony. The word of the day for this week's comment commentary is pony. So if you've managed to get all the way to the end of this video, get credit where's credit's due and try and fit the word pony into your comment. And I might talk about you next week, and I probably will because I talk about everyone's comments. But yeah, there we go. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment. And I'm not as behind as it seems, okay? That for those of you who are actually watching on the weekly and who made comments this week, you have probably noticed that this is my Wednesday show and I'm answering your comments and doing this on a Sunday. I'm not as far behind as you think. I filmed the videos for Thursday and Friday and Saturday, but I haven't uploaded them / I haven't unlisted them yet. It's been a weird week with scheduling and filming things, so they will be going up online. They're not as far behind as we think. By the end of today, which is Sunday, hopefully I will be at least just one day behind, as it were, theoretically. But yeah, there we go. Videos are coming out. Technically, I did always say that when I began Project 16 that the last week of every other month, or the last week of every month, depending on how I was doing, would be a catch-up week. So as this is actually the last week of January and it's my first month of doing Project 16, I'm going to allow this to be technically a catch-up week, so the fact that I'm slightly behind is totally forgiven by the fact that I said that last week would be a catch-up week. But there we go. We will see how I catch up. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I will be streaming tonight. Clearly not filmed on a Wednesday. I will be streaming tonight from 11 till 12 GMT. It might be slightly delayed. I do have house guests over tonight. There is a couple of other odds and ends that I need to do today. So if in doubt, follow my Twitter, follow my Twitch, which is Carson Librarian, and we'll see. I don't even know what I'm playing. It's not going to be Skyrim, and it's not going to be Don't Starve. So I don't know. It'll be something. I don't know what else I can play that would be good. But I will look through my games and see what I can find. There we go. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for putting up for me for 33 minutes. Blimey O'Reilly. And word of the day was pony. So yeah, I've done the post-amble like 6 times. I'm just gonna finish the video. Bye guys. See you all tomorrow for another video / today / see you next week for another comment commentary. Bye.